Good morning everybody, myself Professor Pushpa N. Avanti. In today's video, I am going to explain about the topic frames of reference, and in today's video, so I have completed, that's the two sessions, covering two sessions, session 1 and session 2. This is frames of reference and also the Galilean transformation. So as we know that in physics, a frames of reference consists of an abstract coordinate system and the set of physical reference points that uniquely fix the coordinate system and standardize measurements within that frame. We can take for n dimensions, n plus 1 reference points are sufficient to fully define a reference frame. So in this case, here we are using the rectangular or the Cartesian coordinates. A reference frame may be defined within a reference point at the origin and a reference point at one distance along each of n coordinate axes. So before studying this frame of reference, one should know about there's a rest, inertia, and you all are familiar with the Newton's laws of motion. Basically, the frame of reference is concerned with this is based on the Newton's laws of motion. So there are three types of the laws of motion. First law, there is every body to continuous to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along the straight line, unless and otherwise an external force is acting on it. And second law, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the external forces acting on it. And third law, for every reaction there is an equal and opposite reaction. And next, inertia is nothing but it is the property of a body by virtue of it opposes its state of rest or of uniform motion unless and otherwise an external force acting on it. And rest, the body doesn't change its position or it's a state of rest. So in frames of reference, we can take this one example, and before this going to this example, so we should know what is a frame of reference. So for a matter of the common experience, we can say that an observer is situated and makes his observations, and such a frame is called as a frame of reference. Or frame of reference is nothing but it is a set of coordinate axes which describes the position of the particle or an event. See, here we have to consider there are two types of the frame of reference. There is the inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. See, consider this one. If we ask A what a velocity of B is, then he will say that it is at rest. But if we ask the same question to the C, that is it is standing in the platform and A and B, passengers A and B are sitting in the train. So while he will say B is moving with a velocity V in the positive x direction. So we can see before specifying the velocity, we have to specify in which frame we are, or in simple terms we need to define a frame of reference. So here there are two types of the inertial frame of reference and non-inertial frame of reference. The first is the inertial frame of reference. An inertial frame of reference is a frame where Newton's laws holds good or Newton's law holds true. That means if no external force is acting on a body, it will stay at rest. If the body is in a rest position, it will be continued to be in a rest. Or if a body is moving in a uniform speed, it will be maintained a uniform speed. Suppose a body is kept on the surface of the earth. For a person on earth, it is at rest, while for a person on the moon, it is in motion. So which is my inertial frame here? Actually, the term inertial frame is relative. That is, first we assume a reference frame to be the inertial frame of reference. So, a more general definition of an inertial frame would be, inertial frame is a rest or moves with constant velocity with respect to my assumed inertial reference frame. Or we can simply say that an inertial frame of reference is a reference frame in which Newton's law holds good. And next is the non-inertial frame. A non-inertial frame has a frame that is accelerated with respect to the assumed inertial frame of reference. In this frame, Newton's law does not hold good. So in first example we see that if I assume Earth to an inertial reference frame, the Moon becomes a non-inertial reference frame, because as it is accelerated motion with respect to Earth. But if we want to make Newton's law holds, here we need to take some mysterious force that's known as the pseudo force, or we can say that imaginary force. Suppose if the person is traveling in the train or traveling in a bus, suddenly the bus will be brakes. So then what will happen? The passengers will move forward. Suppose suddenly the bus stops, the passengers will move backward. So here there is no force is acting on that person. Then also the person will be moving forward as well as the backward because of an imaginary force. That force is called as a pseudo force. Pseudo force is an imaginary force. It doesn't actually act on the body, but it will be appears to act on the body. So here the inertial frame of reference is nothing but a set of coordinate axes which describes the position of an event or a particle. There are two types of the frame of reference, inertial as well as the non-inertial frame of reference. An inertial frame of reference is nothing but in which Newton's laws of motion holds good, and non-inertial frame of reference is nothing but in which Newton's laws of motion doesn't hold good. And next is the Galilean principle of relativity. Dear students, we know that the laws of physics are the same in all inertial frame of reference. The principle of the physical equality of inertial system in classical mechanics, which is manifested in the fact that the laws of mechanics are same in all such systems. Hence it follows that it is impossible to determine by any mechanical experiment conducted in any inertial system whether the given system is at rest or moving uniformly or rectilinearly. So that the principle was first established by Galileo in the year 1636. Galileo demonstrated the identical nature of the laws of mechanics for inertial systems by using an example, the phenomena occurring below the deck of a ship that is at rest or moving uniformly and rectilinearly with respect to the earth, that which may be sufficient to degree of accuracy, it will be considered as an inertial frame system. So the Galilean principle of relativity is valid only in classical mechanics, in which motions at velocities far lower than the velocity of light are considered. At velocities close to the velocity of light, the motion of bodies conforms to the laws of Einstein's relativistic mechanics, which are invariant with respect to the other transformation of coordinates and time, that is Lorentz transformations. At low velocities they turn into Galilean transformation. So next comes to the Galilean transformation equation. When a physical phenomenon is observed in two inertial frames moving with uniform velocity related to each other and the time interval in both the frame is the same, then the data of result on frame of reference can be transferred to those in the second frame of reference. It can be results in one frame of reference can be transferred into second frame. This is known as the Galilean transformation. So the equations which connect the position vector of a particle in two inertial frames are known as a Galilean transformation. One frame is considered as S, it is at rest, and another frame is S dash, which is moving with the velocity, uniform velocity. So here the equations, it will be connect the position vector of the particle in two inertial frames, and those equations are called as Galilean transformation equation. So now we have to derive these Galilean transformation equations. So let us consider here two frames, that is S and S dash be the two inertial frames. See here, S and S dash is the two inertial frame. S is at rest and frame S dash is moving with the velocity Vt along positive x direction. Initially, the origin of the two frames of reference are coincide and the time is set to 0. So then here, when the frame S dash is moving with the velocity Vt, it is traveling at a distance, that is S is equals to that is V is equals to S by T. So then S is nothing but the V into T. So this is the distance traveling from one frame of reference to the another frame, and here we have to consider the particle or an event which will be situated in the frame S dash. So this particle is at a distance x from the frame S and x dash from the frame, it is the particle P from the origin O dash, and here we have to consider Vt is nothing but it is the distance traveled by the particle from frame S to frame S dash. See here, the particles will be moving along the positive x-axis with the velocity V. So here there is no relative motion along y and z axis. Therefore, here the particles will be moving with the velocity V along positive x direction. So here, then after a time t, here we have to consider O dash is equals to V. So then we have the intuitive relationship, that is x dash is equals to x minus Vt. As I already told you that there is no relative motion along y and z axis, then y dash is equals to y and z dash equals to z and t dash equals to t. So the set of these equations are called as the Galilean transformation equation. So the inverse Galilean transformation equations are x is equals to x dash is equals to x minus Vt, means here we have to take an x dash is equals to x plus Vt, y is equals to y, x is equals to x dash plus Vt, y equals to y dash, z equals to z dash and t equals to t dash. So these are the Galilean transformation equations. Thank you.